Does happiness seem like a never attaining goal for you? Do you think life keeps throwing crisis after crisis that you feel happiness is not even possible? Today, we are going to break that idea and reprogram your subconscious mind to be happy even in the crisis situation you're facing right now. Get ready. My dear friend, welcome back to another thought provoking video on life. And if you're new here, I invite you to join this amazing community of people who love to live a life that is great and meaningful, just like you. Today, we'll talk about why we are unhappy, the yardsticks of happiness, and then we will rewrite the happiness definition. And most importantly, we learn the habits of happiness, which will make sure you reprogram your mind to be happy always. And as usual, we'll have the final word. So let's begin. Why are we unhappy? I spoke to a few of my friends, those friends who I feel are happy irrespective of their situations or their circumstances. And I also went deep within me and asked myself, what makes people unhappy? I asked this myself because I feel I'm able to remain peaceful and happy in many crisis situations that I have faced. That makes me think, why are people unhappy? And I have arrived at these based on my thoughts and the discussions that I've had. Number one, our reasons for unhappiness are more than for happiness. Unhappy, happy. When you have a thought process like this, you can even imagine how long will you be happy in your life on an everyday basis. For example, I feel happy just walking on my terrace. I feel happy looking at this lovely, beautiful green leaf. I feel happy on a beautiful rainy day. I feel happy on a vibrant sunny day. I feel happy having a nice hot cup of tea. I feel good and happy having a nice conversation with my friend, going out with my friends for a movie. I feel great and happy spending some quality time with family. And the list goes on. The list just goes on. So I think we have made the reasons for unhappiness more than the reasons for happiness, which is why we are mostly unhappy. And the second, the wrong definition of happiness. Happiness is related to external circumstances, mostly by 98% of people in the world. The definition of happiness, according to them, is acquiring something, having something in life so that you can be happy. While happiness is not in possession or position or not in external things, which we will learn about in the later section about happiness. The third reason why we're unhappy is we are not able to accept life. Acceptance solves a lot of problems, you know that? Acceptance precedes change. That's something my husband always says. He is a badminton international who has his own academy. So he keeps telling, he has this connotation of ABC of acceptance before change. Acceptance before change. You can remember that. I have to credit him definitely for this. This is not my own. But acceptance, when acceptance happens, you have already taken that long, huge step towards making a change in your life, towards progress. And it's the same with life. You have to accept the impermanence of life. And then life will seem much better. And even Buddha had said that life is suffering. I'll not go till that because life has pain, but suffering is our choice. Another reason why we're unhappy, unhealthy routines. There are a number of videos that is already in here in this channel where I keep talking about routines. And again, I'm stressing upon the same People are unhappy because they fail to follow healthy routines in their life. And if you don't have a set of daily routine, it's easy for you to fall into the trap of being a consumer, consumed by everything around you, and then slowly regressing to being just a mindless customer of life. And finally, your expectations, unreasonable expectations, I would say. While you don't accept life as such as it is, you have also created unreasonable expectations for yourself, for your career, for your job, for your business, for your family, for your relationships, for your friends. And this is long, the list is long. When you have that set of expectations from yourself and your life, you're bound to be unhappy at some point. It's now time to list out the yardsticks of happiness, which we use for measuring our happiness. Number one on that list is social conditioning. Society has created so many versions of happiness and so many yardsticks and measures for someone to be happy: success, a great family, marriage, one kid, two kids, a salary of so many zeros in that figure, a business that is successful in a certain way. And it's never ending. Society has been drilling that idea of happiness into your head for ages, for eons, that it has almost imprinted in our heads. And we are struggling against it to come out of it and to actually breathe easy and be peaceful and happy. Second yardstick is, you can guess it. It's, of course, family. After the society, then it's the pressure from the family. I'm sure each of you have gone under pressure from your family for multiple things in life, right from your education. As a student, sometimes, I don't know whether in the Western countries are the same, but in India, sometimes when you are going for your creative prospects, parents go haywire about their notion of education because they feel the rote education, the academic education is the only way to go in life. And there are many, many successful people who have proved otherwise. But somehow we have the herd mentality. Everyone has to go on the same path, travel the same path, study the same things, become the same people, professionals. Unfortunately, it has been ingrained in us from our families that success and happiness should look a certain way. Thirdly, the yardsticks, something which we are unaware of, which unintentionally comes through us. There are ways that we still identify these two, but the next one, there's no way, it's a blind spot. Generational pass ons. Your ancestors, your great grandfather, your great great grandfather, your great 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 grandfather, and the grandmothers, they have all lived a certain way and they have all tried achieving happiness in a certain way. They have tried identifying life in a certain way, and that is passed on to you. And you will pass it on when you have a child of yours. It's there boiling within, it's there seething within, and it's coming out in those occasions when you see someone else succeeding in life in a certain way, and this generational pass on just gets triggered, and you wonder, oh, I'm not there yet. And finally, the present times tragedy. The pressure set by social media is the latest in the entry of your yardstick. Your friend is going on a vacation. a stranger, somebody on social media is having a great family, a good looking family with good looking children. Someone has just suddenly become a millionaire out of the blue. But no one sees what work they have been doing for years. And then you see someone else getting a great degree from an Ivy League school. You keep watching all these on social media, and then you remain in the shackles of envy and jealousy. And you keep telling yourself that you have a long way to go to be happy. I don't think that's the way to go about life. Life doesn't look a certain way, life doesn't have to be a certain way, and it changes from person to person. Only when a day comes that we realize this truth, that we actually find the true happiness, which is always within. Now, that takes us to what the definition of happiness is, and we will rewrite the definition of happiness. Though I said it's a definition that we are going to rewrite, it's more like a collection of statements which will each define what happiness is. Starting with state of mind. Happiness is not external, and it's a state of mind. It is something that you choose to be, irrespective of your surroundings, irrespective of the people around you, irrespective of anything that's happening in your life. Secondly, because it's a state of mind, you can be happy even during a crisis situation. And that the form of happiness would be peace. I've understood that peace also takes the form of happiness because sometimes it will not be just joy and excitement and adventure and all colorful. Happiness, don't mistake that for happiness. Even being peaceful and calm within is a idea of happiness again. And that in crisis is what you have to be peaceful, to be calm, to understand that life is such, and then move on, go with the flow. And the final definition is it's within. Obviously, it's in the mind, it's a state of mind, it's within, and it can be in crisis situation as well as peace. I'd love it if you can remember this. Because most of the time, because we had that wrong yardstick and wrong definition of happiness, we found ourselves unhappy. Now you have understood a totally different definition. You have broken that happiness mold which you were in before. And now you can learn the new. Now you're the fertile land so that I can plant some habits of happiness that I follow and that the friends that I spoke about, many people I know who are happy, follow in their lives. I guarantee that if you follow these habits of happiness, the time that you're happy will be way more than the time that you are unhappy in life. I'd like you to try this out and let me know. Starting with routine. Again, I am going there. I know you're thinking that I will not stop talking about routine, and you're right. Spot on. I will not stop speaking about routine every day. Your routine doesn't have to be complicated. It can be very simple, just as waking up on time, doing your morning rituals, doing your walking, your meditations, your workouts, eating good food, having a ritual of reading your newspaper if you have it, having a cup of tea, having an assigned period of time for your work, for your reading, for nature watching, for music. It's just about having a set routine. And when I say that, it's not about being uptight in life, it's not about being very stiff with life. You can always have your indulgence and you can always let your hair down. once in a while. And when I say let your hair down, I I actually feel like I'm letting my hair down every day when I follow this routine because my life becomes easier when I don't follow than when I don't follow a routine. So see, it's like this. It you are what you uh do most of the time than what you do once a while. So routine makes you, and there's no question about it. That's one major habits of happiness. And please remember, these habits that I am sharing here are not in the order of priority. Each one of it is as important as the other. Second, another regular mantra of mine is nature. Walk in nature, spend time in nature, go sit in parks. Just being with nature will help you relax, help you create more serotonins in your brain. And you'll also understand that you are not different from nature. You are part of nature. I don't know when we lost that connection with nature as human beings, but please understand that we are a part of nature. And watching trees grow, watching plants grow, watching flowers bloom, you'll understand the beauty of time and sometimes the beauty of impermanence as well. Spend time in nature. Third one, exercise. Another way to build that serotonins in your head. It's not just about looking great or having that figure. It's about feeling great and being ready for the day. If you do the workouts in the morning, you're almost ready for the day to take on any challenge, even mentally. It's not just about physical, it's also about being mentally prepared for the day and for the situations that could come in your life. And number four, food, healthy food. Make sure you eat home cooked food whenever you can. If you can eat 6 times, 6 days of the week from home, please do that. Some people do not have that luxury. And if you are one of those, please try to make sure you eat simpler meals outside where you know what they add and ask for down on the sugar, the salt, or the MSGs if it's a place that adds it. But most of the time, try home food because what you are going to put inside you is going to define how you look and how you be and how much energy you have to take on the day. And the fifth, medication, if necessary. If you have a health situation, if you have a health condition, please make sure you take the necessary medication. I had to do that because I have had the symptoms of OCD, of obsessive compulsive disorder, and I had to balance it, I had to manage it. So there will be many who might be going through it, and that might be causing them to produce chemicals that are not, creating those happy hormones. If that's the case, you need to balance it out, which you have to meet a doctor and identify and then take the treatment for it. Next is relationships. Good relationships are as important as any of these. And do not tell me you are stuck with people who are not great. No, I believe that relationships are a choice. You can always find way to keep them away. I'm not saying you can completely leave them and go if you're living with them, but you can find ways to lessen the time that you're with them. And then you will see that the negativity in your life reduces. Good relationships, good friends to speak to have a great conversation with is such a boon in life. I am a very sensitive person. Sometimes some situations happen and I feel really sad. I share that with a friend of mine. One of my friends, I have two, three best friends who I share that with. It's like having a warm shoulder on a cold day. And I cry. They do that with me as well. To have that is such a beautiful thing in life. I feel very grateful for these great relationships. And I think I have chosen them in my life. I have done the work to attract them into my life, and you can do that. And that'll add a lot to your happiness quotient. Next, meditation. Meditation Doesn't have to be a half an hour, 1 hour activity. It can just be about 5 to 10 minutes in the beginning. And it can be walking meditation as well. I used to do that long back, but recently from December onwards, I think a few months now that I've been practicing regular meditation morning and evening, at least 20 minutes. And it has transformed my life to the extent that some of the situations get changed, which I think I've been meditating upon them. And the situations also start changing in life, which is magical, right? But I believe in that. I believe that we have the capability, we have the power within us to access that super consciousness and try bring in some results in our life. Next, journaling. If you have read The Diary of Anne Frank, you will know what it means. How she survived through that period of being completely away from normal life, stuck inside a secret annex without even seeing the outside world for months, for years, I suppose, is all because she shared her deepest emotions with her diary, who she called Kitty. She used to write to Kitty, dear Kitty. That's how she used to address the diary, the journal. I'm certain that helped her hold on to her faith and also have a time, a decently good time with the other people who were so different from her, who were living all under the same roof, almost thrown with each other, without an avenue to breathe and go and breathe outside. If you've not read The Diary of Anne Frank, I definitely suggest. I think I have put a link of the book in the description. Please have a look at it. Then comes the habit of generosity. Being generous, being kind with another human being, you have no idea how happy, how relieving that emotion is. Sometimes, even when we are going through tough period, when we are there for somebody else, when we help someone in some way or the other, that happiness and that good feeling rubs on us. And I think your situation will become a little better. Generosity will take you a long way. Being kind will take you a long way. As human beings, we are meant to do that. On that note, the next one is empathy. We as a species are on the highest of the list of intelligence, of the degree of intelligence, and we can perceive another human being's emotions. That's what makes us different from the rest of the species. And I sometimes feel even dogs can understand. I used to have a pet. She used to understand when I was sad and she comes cuddling up, almost in the attempt to calm me down. If dogs can do that, if animals can do that, imagine what the power of empathy we have. And when we exercise that on a daily basis, it becomes a part of our nature and it becomes a habit of happiness. Next is the second last one, learning. Learning is a never ending process. Keep learning new things in life, new skills, new people, new art forms, whatever that you love to keep learning, please keep learning. And right now, what I am doing with YouTube is also the same. I'm just learning, I'm learning voraciously, researching and reading voraciously, and thinking as well to come back and formulate something and come back to you and share that with you. And the final one is spiritual understanding. Spiritual understanding will solve most of your worries in life. When you see life from that different plane, from a higher realm, you will know life is like that. There is life and there is death. If you are born, you will die. And you will understand the impermanence of life as well. At the same time, you will understand how you are permanent in this universe and how it's just energy that transforms into another form and how we're all one. When that spiritual search happens within you, your inner being will be calm, will be tranquil, will always know what to do and how to handle any challenge in life. You will have pain, like I said before, but remember the M, C, W, and the P, where it's a state of mind, where it's within, where you can be that in the crisis as peace. So the spiritual learning will help you remain peaceful in all situations, irrespective of it being joyous or sad. So I would love it if you try these habits of happiness and share that with me in the comments. And we reach the final word, which as usual, I want it from the Bhagavad Gita. I'll read out. Lord Krishna says, as the waters of different rivers enters the great ocean, which, though full on all sides, remains undisturbed. Likewise, a person who is not disturbed by the incessant flow of desires can alone achieve peace, and not the man who runs after these desires and strives to satisfy such desires. Bhagavan Krishna says that happiness is not from the external factors, just like how an ocean remains the same even after water flows within from the rivers, and when water flows out, the ocean remains the same and it is not dependent on the external agents. Likewise, our true happiness will not be dependent on these external agents and it will remain unperturbed in every situation. Please be happy always. And check out the other videos in this channel. I'm hoping you will share some love here as well with your likes and comments. Thank you so much. Take care of yourself. Peace.